before you decide that a project is a multiplier project, this is a strategic coach thing, that you run it through an impact filter. The whole point of an impact filter, as you're brainstorming, it's you run it through, what do you want to accomplish? So with an Expire program, that's a good one for when the market turns, you want to make sure you have that system in place. So the markets are going to turn at some point. Right now, expireds are not as, at least in our market, aren't as plentiful as they once used to be. But it will turn. And outbound prospecting as well. So what do you want to accomplish? And just give some detail around what you want to accomplish. If you're the team leader and you're not the guy that has a high follow-through, if you've ever taken the Colby, the impact filter is what you hand off to a Mimi or a Brian, someone that's going to implement this thing. Importance, what's the difference it will make? So you got to be really clear that this is absolutely the thing you should be working on right now. And there's 50 things you could be working on right now, but these are the 5 things that you must work on right now to move your business forward in a significant way in the next 90 days. So what's the difference it will make? What does the result look like? So be clear on what you want it to look like when it's done. If you do take action, what's the best case scenario? What does the best look like? If you don't take action, what's the worst? So on that thing with the outdated buyer presentation for us, it's just like, what's the worst thing? There is no. We're not getting any less buyers to sign up because we have that there. They're just explaining, I don't even know what they say, but it's not hurting our conversion. So it's just something, maybe not a good example, but it's the only one I can think of. So what's the worst thing that will happen? So you want that best to be really good if you implemented it, and the worst if you don't, you're going to be tied to working with buyers because you have no listings. Like, get some emotion around that best and worst, and then what has to be true when it's finished. So some really hard and concrete success criteria. And the one thing that Strategic Coach doesn't have, which we added, is just what are the first 4 things that you can do to take action on this. So then just 4 action item steps. So that's the middle. So if you put your 5 projects, they may not be the right projects until you run them through an impact filter. Make sure they're actually going to have an impact on your business. And they're just not something that it seems like you should do this. It's for you right now, where your business is right now. So let me unpack each one of these things that you're going to be setting a goal and then putting an actual every month. And the way that I want you to work this top section is that for each month, I want you to have a goal. So however you want to write it, if it's a different color or if it's a number, then a slash, and you're putting your actual, just do a goal and actual in each of these categories. And obviously, systems, leverage, and free days, or systems and leverage are just subjective. You've got to be focusing on, like, what did I do to implement systems in my business this month? What did I do to get more leverage in my business this month? Did I have any free days, true free days this month? And then your cash and debt is self-explanatory. So go ahead and fill out. And then 2016, so April, May, and June are a projection with an actual. And then just going as the months go. And then 2016 is for the full year. On December 31st, how much volume you want to do in your team, what the goal is, slash, leave the actual open. Number of sides, put the goal in and a slash and leave it open. How much cash, so in 7 days, how much cash you want to be able to have your hands on. Where you want your debt to be. Same definition as you used before. Your systems, your leverage, and your number of free days. You should have a goal for the number of free days. Like Dan Sullivan, he has a very specific goal for like number of free days, and he's checked out. He doesn't do anything. He's very disconnected. And it's tough. It's not easy to literally not go into anything or even have a thought about business. Like, you can't even listen to a business book on your free day because you're cheating. You're doing business. You're doing work. And then second part are your 5 projects. And literally doing the impact filter. So if you do an impact filter, you might want to run on page 102. If you have more than 5 that you think, like Matt, we spoke, run them through a quick impact filter and make sure they are the 5 that you want to do before you transfer them over here. And the same format. You got to write pretty small, but they're gonna get on here. And then on the bottom, 2 or 3 takeaways. So on all of those 7 sessions, the takeaways. I want you to put 2 or 3 takeaways, things that you don't want to forget. Because this workbook is going to great experience, learned a lot of great stuff, 20 takeaways. These might be things that you can't implement, but that you just want to remember and just capture them on that bottom part. So I want this experience to stay with you as long as possible until the next workshop.